Hey guys, it's Abby. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing an honest mental health update while I do my makeup. I thought that'd be more interesting than just sitting here talking to you guys about my problems. I'm also drinking some tea right now. I am literally just going off of everything that's in my brain right now. I don't have any notes written out, which that's what I usually do. It helps me like kind of stay on track, but I really wanted this video to be like as raw as possible. It is me talking about mental health, and I just feel like it's super important to talk about these things. A lot of stuff has been weighing on me for a while now, and I'm hoping by just me talking about my problems, someone watching this video, literally if it's just one person, hopefully they will find courage to, seek help or open up to someone. That's literally why I'm doing this. Again, I just think it's so important to talk about mental health in general, because I think we've come a long way as a society with talking about mental health, but I think we still have a lot more work to do, and there are just still some things that are seen as taboo. Oh, we can talk about this, but maybe let's not talk about that. So I think it's just important that we talk about everything, because we're human beings, and I guarantee you what you're experiencing right now, someone else has already felt. Yeah, just as a society, we need to open up more and just help people feel less alone, because it can be so lonely. I almost feel like I'm about to cry, but we're not doing that today. That is not a vibe. Plus, I'm doing my makeup, so it's good. I guess before I get into my makeup, do want to just make a little disclaimer that I'm not a mental health professional in any way. I am a 23-year-old woman who is struggling with her mental health and has always struggled with her mental health. I do highly recommend that if you are experiencing any bad feelings, or if you just need to talk to someone about anything, please go seek professional help. Seeking a support system, but really just like therapy is awesome. I don't want people to feel discouraged, because sometimes you reach out to people, to therapists, and they might not be right for you, but that doesn't mean that you should give up. There is someone out there for you who's going to help you and who you're going to vibe with. I am editing this video, and before I move any further, I totally forgot to do a huge disclaimer / trigger warning. I am talking about some pretty heavy topics throughout this video, like depression and anxiety and disordered eating. So if you feel like you would be triggered in any way, please do not watch this video. Also, I just wanted to mention, I jump really quickly from topic to topic throughout this video. I tried to be as honest as possible, but that's just kind of how the video turned out. If you want me to go into more detail or more in depth into certain topics, please just let me know, and I'll totally do a separate video on whatever topic you are interested in. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. I'm gonna start doing my makeup because this is gonna be a long video. I can already see it. First we gotta put up our hair though. I'm just not a hair up type of gal, so is that cute? I don't care. I'm gonna do my makeup now, and I'm gonna leave all the products down below. I'm not really gonna go over what I'm doing. I'm not a beauty expert in any way. I just am doing my makeup for the day, and that's that. I moved to Virginia Beach back in February. When was that? March, April, May, June, July, August. Whoa. I have, loved living with my girlfriend. It's been amazing, but ever since I moved there, there's been a lot of like mental health issues that have risen and that I've been dealing with, and I guess I have been kind of suppressing some emotions for a while now. It's like since moving to Virginia Beach, there's just a lot of stuff that has, happened, and like that has been brought up to the surface, and stuff that I thought that I've healed from, and I'm just gonna kind of talk about all those things today. Again, I do feel like it's important to be honest with where I'm at mentally, and honestly, me not doing well mentally has been a big reason as to why I really haven't been uploading a lot on this channel. It's not just one thing, and everything's just so complex and complicated, and I'm just gonna try and touch on many different things throughout this video. I have already tried to film this video, actually. I tried filming this about 3 months ago in my car back in Virginia Beach, which by the way, I'm in Orlando, Florida right now for about 3 weeks, just to kind of get back into a better headspace. But I will be going back to Virginia Beach. Grayson's in Richmond right now working. I made this video about 3 months ago and it was god awful. I was jumping around certain things and I was doing it in my car with my iPhone, and my iPhone kept overheating. It was like a complete shit show. Really didn't know what I was talking about, and to be honest, I still don't even really know what I'm about to say, but like I'm just gonna speak from my heart and speak from almost like a little therapy session. So yeah, now we are freaking doing this video again, and hopefully I can get my point across or say what I need to say. Back in February, I moved to Virginia Beach with my girlfriend, and I noticed it was a stressful time. You know, when you're moving, it's just inevitable. You're gonna be stressed out. There's a lot of change. I live with her and her parents, so like in her parents' home, so that was stressful in itself. Of course, it's like you just want to make sure that you are constantly, you know, being respectful of their space. And I realized because of these stressful situations, a lot of past emotional struggles were popping up as well. Being back in Virginia Beach also kind of triggered some things that I once struggled with. Like my anxiety started getting really bad again. I was just feeling so anxious all the time, and I still am. It's getting a little better, but it definitely is one of those things where you just feel crippled by the anxiety. And a lot of the times when I'm feeling that way, I just don't want to get out of bed. And then of course that kind of leads into depression, because you feel like, oh shit, like I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing what I need to be doing with my life. I feel like society puts so much pressure on us to get our shit together. I think social media is to blame, because you know, everyone's just posting their highlight reel and what they're doing and what they're succeeding at. No one's really posting their struggles. Like, of course, I've been guilty of that. You want to post like the good stuff, but I also think there's some like downfall to that, because it again gives people unrealistic expectations. I got my certification in holistic health coaching back in January of this year, and that has been something that has definitely been weighing on me, because I have felt some shame, because it's like you get this certification and you think, okay, I'm gonna help people now, and I'm gonna be the best I can be, I'm gonna be the best motivation for people, and then all of a sudden I moved to Virginia Beach, right? And I feel depressed and anxious, and my disordered eating starts coming back. Perfectionism is a huge part of my life as well, and it's just something that I've been dealing with, and like I'm really trying to heal from, because I literally can't keep doing this. So that was just stressful in itself as well. It's like, okay, I feel like I can't help people right now because I am not my best self. And I've been feeling that way for a long time, and that's why I haven't really been posting on Instagram like wellness content, because I'm lacking inspiration myself. And I think there's some beauty in that though. There's always beauty in the dark stages of life, and that's just kind of how I've been trying to look at it. I don't want to like beat myself up about anything. I'm really just trying to be kind to myself, because I know that like I am a human being and I will always have things that I will be going through, you know, it's just inevitable, but that's ultimately how you learn and grow. So I'm just kind of looking at these dark stages as just growth for me. Finally starting to feel ready to like open up about it and like truly just heal from it. So I'm really excited to like kind of take you guys on that journey. All the advice that I've ever given about self-love and self-care, I truly stand by. You know, just this is life, and you know, my emotions and feelings ebb and flow constantly, so nothing is ever going to be perfect. And I think I felt shame about that for a really long time, because I was like, I'm such a hypocrite, you know, I'm telling people to love themselves, I'm telling people to love their bodies, but I'm over here like I have anxiety and I have depression and I have all these things that I'm still dealing with. Granted, I have come a long way, and I've used my own advice as a way to help me heal through certain things and help me through this. I truly feel like I can help people with my advice and what I've learned. I'm hoping to still do that, you know. It's just sometimes life can be a little bit tricky and complicated, and yeah, I'm just going through a stage where it's just everything feels kind of overwhelming, but I think it's really important to talk things through when you're feeling that way, because that's ultimately what's going to help you heal. So like I said, anxiety has played a huge part in my life pretty much ever since I was a little girl, and I definitely want to make a video about this. If you guys hear kids in the background, my niece and nephews are home, so sometimes it's like a brick is on my chest. My hands will start shaking. I feel like I'm out of breath. I just get lightheaded. I definitely have severe anxiety, which I don't know if a lot of people know that, because I feel like I can play it off well at times. I feel like I'm constantly living in fight or flight mode. So right now I'm just really trying to work on getting out of that headspace and trying to really protect my energy and remind myself that I am safe. I used to also have really bad depression, and that's not as bad as it once was, but I definitely have noticed within the past month signs of that have been coming back, and I'm really just trying to nip that in the bud now before it gets worse. I do not want to go back to depressed Abby. I also have hypothyroid, which is an autoimmune disease. I'll just plop it up right here on the screen so you can check it out, because I really don't feel like explaining what it is right now. I've had that since I was 11 years old, and that actually affects my mental health a lot. If levels are off in my body whatsoever, it can trigger anxiety, or it can trigger depression, fatigue, weight gain or weight loss, hair falling out. I don't think I talk about it because it's one of those things where I take medication every day, and I have since I was 11 years old. I honestly kind of forget that I have it sometimes until I'm in a depressive episode, and I'm like, where did this come from? And I'm like, oh yeah, I have this thing that I've been dealing with forever now, and that could be a factor. I have been experiencing, and this is the thing that I'm a little bit nervous to talk about, because I don't know, it's just one of those things where it's always weighed so heavy on me. I've been experiencing some binge eating moments, and it's definitely not as bad as what it used to be. I would binge eat, and then I'd feel like complete shit about myself, which is kind of what I've been going through. But in the past, I would then, you know, like restrict my food and then ultimately repeat the cycle. I think binge eating is not taken as seriously as it should be. 30% of people who experience binge eating are not overweight or obese. Never judge a book by its cover. You have no idea what anyone is going through, and the things that they could be experiencing or feeling in their mind could be extremely heavy on that person. And so that's why it's just like, never assume things about people. Someone could be looking healthy and fine, but could be dying inside. Also, with body dysmorphia is a huge thing that I've been experiencing my entire life, and it's been very prevalent within these past few months. It's a lot more complicated than what people think. Everyone is so different, but for me, I will see this version of myself in my brain that's about 20 pounds lighter than I am now, and I'm not gonna share my weight because I don't want anyone comparing their weight to mine, but I just am gonna say that I in no way need to like lose weight, or that is not my goal in any way, but you just like can't help it. Sometimes it's like you just see this version of yourself, like a demon, like shouting at you, like, you're not good enough, you gotta get to this weight. And then you look in the mirror and you see yourself completely distorted than what you actually are. And it's a real thing, and it's scary. I'm not the only one experiencing this. It's definitely a huge problem. So I kind of touched on what I've been experiencing kind of with my body and food and all that, and it's really hard because it's like I will have a really good relationship with food one second and then the next I will, you know, kind of self-sabotage because I'm feeling a lot of things. Did a video about like how I learned to love my body and like why you should too, and at the time I felt like I healed from a lot of things, and that video was me being 100% honest. But of course, you know, our feelings can change. So I'm really just trying to get back to that point of me just feeling confident with who I am within my skin. And even though I am experiencing these feelings, I have come such a long way, and I am so proud of myself for that. So I know that I've learned so much, and I'm just gonna take what I've learned and apply it and just kind of learn and grow. I am currently trying to find a therapist in Virginia Beach to kind of really get to the root of everything in my life, because it all stems back to my childhood and childhood trauma in my own way. You know, I had an amazing childhood, but of course, you know, everyone experiences things that are not so pleasant. For a while, I was going to a therapist and a psychiatrist, and they thought that I could, my therapist thought that I was ADD, and then my psychiatrist thought, you know, that I could be bipolar. And I took medication for like 2 weeks, and then I stopped it because I didn't like the way it made me feel, and I never really touched back on that. It's like very complicated. The whole brain is very, very complicated. I have tried to heal this all by myself. I need more help. I have like full faith that this will all be figured out. The eyeliner is tricky. I am extremely sensitive. I'm a highly sensitive person. I feel drained a lot of the time when I'm around a lot of people. I'm just constantly like absorbing people's emotions and energy. It can be very draining. I feel like I need more breaks than the average person because everything is just a lot more overwhelming in my eyes. I am learning how to protect my energy now because I used to fight this part of myself a lot. I used to think like, oh, being sensitive is not good. And again, I think that has to do with childhood stuff that I'm not gonna get into, but I definitely felt like, oh, I need to be like, I'm weak because I'm feeling all these feelings, but that's not the case at all. I'm trying to learn to work with my sensitivity instead of against it, because obviously that's just hurting me more than helping me. I'm learning how to protect my energy, and sometimes that means, you know, saying bye to some people in your life because their energy does not resonate well with yours, and that can be really sad, but it's also like a beautiful thing when you realize like, oh, I am doing this for myself and because I am learning to love myself. And yeah, there's just something really beautiful in boundaries, and it's hard. It's really, really hard, and not a lot of people talk about how hard it is putting up those boundaries. And there's times when you're like, am I making a mistake, you know, or am I being selfish? And then those are just like the times where you need to tell yourself we all have the same fate, and I think you just gotta do what's best for you, because if you are living a life that makes you miserable, or if you have people around you that are draining you, what good is that? You are not reaching your full potential. You are not living your best life. But I'm also learning, like, don't fear life. If you're living a life full of fear, you're ultimately holding yourself back from amazing opportunities. I was terrified of meeting Grayson and potentially letting this person into my life because I was never good at letting people in. I tend to build a wall. I just kind of close myself off a lot from people. I'm so happy that I didn't listen to that fear, and I just kind of trusted the process and trusted myself, because it led me to this beautiful thing. And I have never felt so much love in my life before, and I'm so grateful for Grayson because she's also taught me so much, and she's been there for me so much. It is truly such a beautiful thing when you start letting people in. As far as the things that I will be doing to help with all of these emotions and struggles that I'm currently facing, there are little things that you can do that will make a difference. And then of course there are bigger things that you can do, such as therapy. Like I said, I am trying to find a good therapist in Virginia Beach. When I go back there in a few weeks, I really want to start that process. I understand though that therapy is not easily accessible to a lot of people, even though I think it is a good investment for yourself. It can be quite expensive, and so with that I just say finding a good support system. That is kind of why I'm in Orlando right now, and I'm so blessed to have a family that is just so supportive and who is just constantly there for me. Also, journaling has been a great outlet for me. It's just kind of where I let things out. I've also been writing people letters that they will never see, because it is a way for me to heal. And you know, sometimes you just gotta let out a big, you know, f you, but also like, I love you and I wish you the best, and then just kind of let that shit go. That's what I've been doing currently, and it honestly helps a lot. Oh, this is something little. If you're struggling with anxiety, I would really recommend looking at how much caffeine you are consuming, because that could also play a huge part in your anxiety. Maybe it's not the main source of your anxiety, but it definitely doesn't help. These past, you know, almost 7 months really, I was drinking a lot of coffee and I knew that wasn't, you know, helping in any way. So now I'm back on matcha. Matcha lattes are amazing. They give me, you know, still some energy, but I don't feel like jittery. It's definitely trying to fuel my body with like good foods, not a lot of sugar, and you know, like processed foods. Also, moving my body has helped a lot. I am reading a lot. I'm inspired by a lot of self-help books. Currently I'm reading The 4 Agreements for like the 3rd time, because I think it's such a simple book. It's also not very long, which is what I really like about it, but it also just is so simple but so effective. I really recommend you checking that out if you are like trying to get into spirituality. Yeah, trying to look after my mind, body, and my spirit, drinking a lot of water, talking things through, but also I'm doing this thing where I'm not focusing so much on self-help, because I feel like that can also be really draining. Constantly trying to work on yourself can be very overwhelming, so finding a balance in it all is extremely important. That's all that I can really think of right now. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of all over the place, but that's just me at the moment. If you are currently going through something, again, I highly recommend you seek the help that you need. Well, feel free to reach out to me or comment down below, or, you know, message me. Hopefully I can be there for you in any way. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next video.